Program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you've been having a beautiful week as we are moving into April here. And today we're going to be talking about how to love your body, tap into your spirit, enjoy the journey, and thrive. So we've got a beautiful heart-centered show ahead for you today. And I love these topics because I think so often we can get focused on one piece. We'll get focused on tapping into our spirituality and focused on that, and we're disconnecting sometimes from our body, or we can focus on our body and disconnect from the spirit or from the journey or from what we're trying to achieve. And I love being able to bring all parts of us together. And I think when we're able to do that, we're more centered, we're more grounded. We actually can enjoy the journey and appreciate it and really move forward in a powerful, balanced way. One of the things I have found, I have an event called Fall into Balance, and it's very highly attended because one of the things I hear from women so often is that they feel out of balance. They feel pulled too many directions. They don't know how to stay in balance and stay in rhythm. And I believe the secret is really bringing all of you in, not just focusing on a piece, and remembering to pause. And when we pause, that actually slows us down a little bit so everything can get connected and we can breathe into the wisdom and the information that's there. And we can listen. When we're moving so quickly in our life, we can't hear as well. We miss things that could be very supportive of us in our journey. And there's great insight and wisdom when we put ourselves in a position to lean into the journey of life and to listen. And I just had an amazing experience yesterday that I wanted to share with all of you today. It was this morning. So it was a conversation that had started yesterday, and I'm writing a book. I've got a couple books that are in process right now, and one of them is an anthology. It's multiple authors, and that came out earlier this year, and it's that You Are Whole, Perfect, and Complete, and that became a bestseller, which is really cool. I'm excited about that. And the second one that we have in the works is How to Live an Outrageously Successful Life, and I decided to lean in and get support. The other chapter I had written, and I'd used transcriptions because I speak my messages more so than write them. And so I tapped into a ghostwriter who's really good at capturing your voice, your heart, your message, because we're so close to our thoughts and our words, sometimes we can't look at it from an outside perspective. So this was a moment for me to speak from my heart, to share with them what I was trying to convey in the chapter, why this was important to me, what I wanted to deliberately share and bring forward to people, kind of my core message. And it boiled down to helping people live their life on purpose and with purpose. And I have my company name, which is Your Purpose-Driven Practice. So we had talked about these things, put the outline of the chapter together, and she called me this morning and said, Rebecca, I just was curious about this concept of practice, because it sounds like to me you're helping people develop the practice of living their life on purpose. It's not something they instantly do overnight. It's not something we perfect. It's a journey that we're building ways to practice and purposely build our life on purpose. And I loved that perspective and having it reflected back to me. Because when I originally created the company and I developed it, that's not exactly where I knew, that's not where it was going. I didn't know that's what it would evolve into. But to have the opportunity to share a message with somebody from the heart and get it reflected back to you as it's evolved and become what it is now, it was invaluable. And that's some of the wisdom that we can tap into in our daily life. If we're willing to listen, to invite people on the journey of life with us, they can reflect back things that we may not see because we're too entrenched in it. And to have that reflected back to me that I'm helping people develop the practice of living their life on purpose was a brilliant way to articulate what I am doing and what I am called to do. And so I want us to take a moment together to reflect on what is our message. What is it that we're called to bring forward? And there's a reason that you were drawn to this show, that you were drawn to the title about love your body. Because sometimes we can have an inconsistent relationship with it. To tap into the spirit, maybe you're feeling a little bit disconnected or you're not sure how to tap into that power. Well, maybe you're not sure how to enjoy the journey of life and you're really wanting that. So I invite you to take one of those moments where you take a deep breath with us and listen. For those of you driving, please keep your hands on the wheel. Be safe, eyes open, stay alert. We want you joining us for the next show and fully enjoying this one. But for those of you who are able to, I invite you to sit back in your chair, get comfortable, feet on the floor. Take one hand and put it on your heart, the other hand and put it on your head. We're going to bring all of you in, head, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Close your eyes and take a breath. And listen. What is it that your soul, your heart, your spirit is reflecting back to you today? Not what you're doing, not what you're trying to accomplish, but what is it that is being echoed back for you, the gift that's here for you today to help you enjoy your journey. Maybe it's the insight someone's reflected to you, that you were heard and they were able to capture a part of you. And that was inspiring and exciting to you. Maybe it said, I would love to love my body. I'm not feeling that all the time. Or I want to connect with my spirit. What is it that you need today? What's being echoed on your heart, your spirit, in your mind? And I invite you to come back to us, back into the room. Open your eyes and capture what it is, either that insight that was shared with you or the thing that you're looking for, the piece that you need. And I invite you to breathe in again, this time being open to receiving that. Because my goal on the show is to really empower you. It's to give you the tools and resources and insights and information to empower you on your journey, to have it really take roots so that going forward, you've got something from this show that helps impact your life in a positive direction. And this show, we're really working on and really wanting to help you love your body, to tap into your spirit, to love the journey of life and thrive. And you are an integral part of that, front and center. And with that, I'd love to open up the floor and see if I have two amazing guests that are supporting us today, to see if they had an insight they wanted to share. So let me welcome Dr. Marguerite, and I want to make sure I get your name pronounced right. I have Rigoglioso. Did I do that correct? So welcome.
Thank you.
And did you have something laid on your heart that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, I think that, why I'm here today is to transmit some energy to others so that they may experience more healing and greater joy in their lives. And that's a process that I'm involved in for my own life, and it's how I work with people. So that, I don't know if it's an insight, but it's sort of an intention. Let's say that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, the practice. And you're bringing healing and joy. That's beautiful. Yeah. And part of this breathing together is really helping us energetically connect and support one another on a heart, soul, and spirit level. So I love that that's the intention and the energy that you're bringing to all of us. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
And then our second guest is the amazing Julie Stiles. So Julie, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's great to be here.
Glad to have you. And did you have something laid on your heart that you wanted to share with us today?
Yeah, I did, and I really enjoyed that little brief moment of breath and reflection. And what really came to me was just, and similar to Dr. Marguerite, it's really part of what I think I'm here to share on the show today for people. It's just the sense of, there wasn't words or anything, it was just a sense of the beauty and the awesomeness, the amazingness of who we all truly are. And that's, I think, so much we live out of judgment and blame and just not really seeing who we really are. And so as I tapped in, it's like I just got the kind of energetic sense of that. It's like if we could really see how beautiful and awesome we all are, it's like how would our world really be different?
Thank you. That is so beautiful. And listeners, I want you to actually ask that question. How would we feel, or how would life be if we could really see the beauty and awesomeness and amazingness of who we truly are? I think sometimes we can see that in others more easily than we can see in ourselves. I think we can look at other people's shiny parts and compare our non-shiny parts to them and get discouraged and not understand the amazing gift that we all are. And I think that was what was laid on my heart. So Julie, thank you. Folds in beautifully. Is that all of you are all an amazing gift that really enriches the lives of everybody you touch. And that's one of the reasons I think it's so important we remember to pause and breathe and really be aware of the steps that we're taking in our life, and when we're leaning in and sharing who we are, and when we're perhaps holding back a little bit, because it has a profound effect on all of us. And if we really knew how amazing we are, how beautiful we are, I think we would stand in that more strongly and share more freely, and all of us would be richly blessed. And that's the world I want to live in, and I'm hoping to help build. So I really thank both of you for being on the show today. We're getting ready to go to our first commercial break, and listeners, I invite you to sit in that energy and really ponder what it is you need today, and really take a moment and just play with the idea that you are amazing and awesome and beautiful. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a moment to really sit in that amazing energy and play with the concept and maybe even step into it that you are amazing, brilliant, awesome, a gift to all of us. And if you didn't take that opportunity, you still have it. We have a few more commercial breaks. You'll get the opportunity to really practice. Because again, it's a practice of stepping into that and acknowledging the amazing gift that you are and then being willing to share it with those around you. So our first guest expert you got to meet briefly in our previous segment, and this is the amazing Dr. Marguerite Rigoglioso. I'm still learning the pronunciation, so I keep practicing.
Good going, good going.
Okay, thank you. And I wanted to share a little bit of her background. She has an amazing depth of resources and expertise that she brings to the table. So she has a master's and doctorate from the California Institute of Integral Studies. She's the founding director of the Seven Sisters Mastery School. And she brings together an academic background with a spiritual background into a really beautiful mix that she's been able to teach at universities and really impact and support people around the world. And also in the UK, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're getting worldwide expertise today to really support us in tapping into our spirit. So I warmly welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's a pleasure to be here. And while I do hope that my clients and students gain mastery, it's actually Seven Sisters Mystery School. Which is
oh, my goodness.
cooler.
Thank you.
That's even more interesting, I think. But
thank you.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that.
Well, I appreciate that. So mystery school, and then we're going to help them step into mastery. There we go.
That's right. Yeah.
But thank you. I want to be accurate, so I appreciate that correction.
Yeah.
And I know, and for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to meet Dr. Marguerite in person, I've had that privilege, and she has such a beautiful, warm, grounded energy about her, and from the inside out, everything about you, I don't know if you know, I feel this way, so I'm sharing this with you too, Dr. Marguerite, is it echoes a message of love and support and grounding and expertise and spirituality. It's just a really, really beautiful mix that you echo all of that from how you stand, how you share, how you speak, and even the clothing that you wear. So I appreciate that consistent authenticity and expertise that you are bringing to us.
Thank you.
Now, people may wonder, why is it that this work is so important to you to have founded the Seven Sisters Mystery School?
Right.
And to teach about spirituality and really empower the world in this way. Why is that work so important to you?
It's really important because while I was appearing quite grounded and so forth, and I was in my higher self when, the couple of times that you've met me, there's the other side of me, and it's the other side of all of us, I think, which is really the unhealed, wounded part that's just trying to do the best she can. And it's because I'm in the process of my own healing, and I feel a sense of calling to help others heal, that I'm doing what I'm doing, which is helping people to open their consciousness, open their awareness to spiritual realms, because I see this all as a part of a deep, deep healing that we're doing both personally and collectively.
Thank you. And I appreciate you sharing that, because it goes back to the shiny part thing that we do, that we look at the shiny parts of people and we compare it to our non-healed or our non-shiny parts, and we don't always recognize all of us have that. Yeah. And all of us are on a journey. So thank you for sharing that and your passion for helping all of us on that journey. I thank you for your work.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, as a spiritual teacher, how does a spiritual approach to life help people overcome challenges and difficulties? So we touched on that a little bit, but is there more that you would like to share in that?
Yeah. I think that good old-fashioned healing with therapy and so forth is a really important part of work that folks might want to do who have had, wounded childhoods and things like that, which is really many of us, if not most of us. But corresponding with that, it really helps to be able to open up to spiritual awareness and the spiritual realms, not just as something well-rote, I think I should do this and my religion tells me I should, but as an actual lived experience. And not a lot of people on the planet have that actual open experience to the fact of there being other dimensions of knowing, other dimensions of reality beyond the seen world, and that there's actually help there in many different forms that's available just beyond the veil, as I would say. So connecting with that help is one of the major ways that a spiritual approach to life can be beneficial. And so there are different tools and techniques for getting on that road, but I would say that's my short answer to that question.
Okay. And I just want to underline a couple of things that you shared, because I think it's a unique perspective that we don't hear very often. I like how you said just beyond the veil. And to me, that brings a picture of that if we can move this in a veil, you can see through a little bit. Like sometimes we might have an inkling, but if we're able to get support and connecting beyond the veil and tap into that support and information more effectively, I can see how that would absolutely enrich our life and help us move forward with probably even more confidence. I don't know if you find that, but I know if I have support, and I know I've got support, I walk a little differently.
Definitely. And one of my biggest discoveries on this path was in being able to open my consciousness to other realms of existence and other intelligences. I was finally able to come in contact with my personal guides, and everyone has them. And this is a concept that has been from antiquity in many ancient traditions all the way up until New Age. We hear that bandied about, my guides, this and that. Well, but it's true, And so knowing that you have a power source and a guidance source, that if you just get quiet, open your mind and connect, the answers will be there, is incredibly comforting, because it's like having your inner consultant, your inner business consultant or your inner personal coach. That's how I see it.
Exactly. And you can have those insights shared with you, a new way of looking things. And there's just a huge power, I find, and comfort in life knowing we're not alone.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. And, this is not just some idea of like desperate people who are like, well, I've been so damaged that I must believe in God and I must reach out to it. No, it's like really actually opening to what's there.
Yes. Thank you. And I appreciate your passion in that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because when we tap into truth that we're called to share, I believe, so I don't mean to push this on you or anybody else, but I believe there is a passion and an energy in that to share that truth, to share that message, because there are a lot of misunderstandings around spirituality. So thank you so much. And I know that you've put together an amazing free gift that has an extra bonus opportunity. I know we talked about a little bit earlier. Do you mind sharing about that with our guests today, our listeners?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my free gift is a half-hour complimentary exploration session with me, either by phone or Skype. I love Skype because I like to be able to see you. And this is so that you can, I can get to know a little bit about you, and we can work together on an issue that you might have, be it spiritual, be it regarding career or something in your personal life, something that you want answers on, guidance on. And I work with you clairvoyantly as well as practically, because I have a lot of entrepreneurial business experience in helping you to get a next step for that issue or some insight about that issue. And we just, I get to know what your needs are, who you are, and we can keep in touch that way. So it's a complimentary half-hour exploration session with me.
Beautiful. And then if they scroll up a little, and listeners, just so you know, I will let you know how to access this amazing gift. And Julie has a gift she's put together as well. But we want you to fully hear about the opportunities to really sink into the information and not get distracted. And then towards the end of the show, that last segment is when I'll let you know how to access all these amazing resources and tools, because we want to really help you get traction in your life and move forward in these areas. So, Marguerite, do you mind, or Dr. Marguerite, I'm sorry, do you mind sharing?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Well,
I feel like Dr. Ruth when you say that. But
okay, so, what's the extra bonus?
Yes, the extra bonus is that this Saturday, for those who can come to the Bay Area of San Francisco in San Mateo, I have a day-long that I'm offering called Answering the Sacred Call, day-long for women who want to live and lead with spirit. So if you are interested in accessing your higher guidance, your inner guides, your intuitive abilities, and so forth, this would be an excellent day for you to explore. And you will be able to get the information on that if you click for the free gift, and you just scroll up a little bit above that on the web page. You'll see the link for that.
Perfect. So just to remind people, that's this Saturday. So you do want to take action on this quickly.
April 11th, 2015.
Coming soon to the local Bay Area.
9:30 to 5. 9:30 to 5. Thank you, dear.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break, so we will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed the break and that you were leaning in with anticipation for our next segment of our show. And this is going to be with the amazing and fabulous Julie Stiles. So, Julie, I welcome you to the show.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. I'm so excited to be here.
Glad to have you. And I want to give our listeners just a little bit of your background and some additional information about you, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if there were any secrets, but it's all stuff that you shared with me.
No secrets.
Okay. So Julie is a health and transformational coach, a writer, a speaker, and she's really committed, and I love this about you, Julie, very committed to empowering people to fully live their healing journey. Because so often we can separate or not like certain things and not lean into the journey of life and what is given to us or feels like it's thrown to us sometimes. And what I love about you, Julie, is that you really lean into that and embrace the journey and the discovery and your body and all that it is bringing to you. And I just really love and value that about you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You have an MA in Conscious Studies, and you have a podcast that specializes on autoimmune conditions, and I love that you call it Autoimmune Adventures. So it's just so I'm saying on brand because I'm not thinking of a better term, but it's so, to me, consistent. It's like what I was sharing with Marguerite, how it's this authentic echoing of who you are and having that echoed in a lot of the things that you do and are bringing forward in life. So I appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So can you share with me why this work around autoimmune conditions and helping people embrace the journey of life and the journey of their bodies and their healing and how things work in that way? Why is that work so important to you?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I think really it has to do with what I said at the very beginning of the show. It's, I believe, well, partly it's, of course, because of my own journey, which I can share a little bit about if you'd like. But
sure.
But it's about that I believe really that who we truly are, in our essence is change and creativity and expansion and being and consciousness. And yet most of us, like we've said, don't really live that way. Like we live more out of this blame or self-judgment or problems and challenges and issues. And my really big why, this is like the really big why from like 50,000 feet is just about, I'd like to know for myself, how do I really live that? What does it really take? My exploration is always about what does it take to actually be able to be and live as that beauty and that awesomeness and that amazingness that we truly are. And so that's really the huge why for me. It's like, how can we take whatever is happening to us in our body, whatever is happening to us in our life, and how do we turn that into really the path and the gateway for becoming who we truly are and actually living that in the world.
Beautiful. And do you mind sharing a little bit of your story? I just think it'll give our listeners even more understanding for what you're doing and your passion for bringing this forward in this way of living.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. So my journey basically, health-wise, so a lot of my challenge in my life has been around embodiment and my health. So when I was 18 months old, a year and a half old, I was diagnosed with asthma. So I grew up with that, and I grew up very much in going through the Western medical system and kind of buying that approach and that paradigm to the body. Like, okay, this illness is something that's wrong with me. It's something that has to be fixed. I'm sort of standing outside my body, kind of trying to manage it. And so that's really what I took on and how I lived my life. And I was at the same time kind of researching holistic health because I was like, something doesn't sit right with me about this. So I was doing all of this research at the same time. And then about 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder as well. And so, again, that's, immune system, kind of hyperactive immune system. And that really kind of put me on the path because I felt really betrayed at that point by my body because I had already done all this research and all this work and was like, okay, now I have another autoimmune disorder, or I have another illness, another chronic illness, that I need to fix. But there's no fix for chronic illness. And so I really had to start to explore and dive deeper into what's really going on here and what's really the path of true healing, not looking for the cure, not trying to get the quick fix, not taking my body to the doctor like I take a car to the mechanic. It's more like, what is actual healing and how do we live into that process fully?
And can I ask you a question? And this isn't on the approved list, so you can decline to answer. But 13 years is a long time. And I suspect, just thinking about myself when I get news of things that I'm struggling with and that are going to be ongoing, that are not things that I feel like I signed up for or wanted. And when that happens, I don't instantly go to this place of embracing the adventure. And so I'm curious if you don't mind sharing just a little bit of maybe the initial and how long it took you to kind of decide to make that transition and lean in.
Yeah, that's a very good question because I absolutely agree. I think a lot of times, and that's why I'm really approaching my work this way right now, because when we do face a challenge, regardless of what it is, whether it has to do with the body or it has to do with your finances or it has to do with losing a home or whatever it is in your life, whatever challenge it is, if it's something that isn't kind of something that you've asked for, then we don't tend to sort of be like, yes, this is an adventure. I can't wait to go on it. And so, I absolutely didn't. Like I said, when I got diagnosed, I very much felt betrayed, and I went into denial for, I don't know quite how long I would say that lasted, but it was a little while. And especially that was just kind of easy for me because my particular autoimmune disorder is fairly easy to handle. I mean, it's like physically, it doesn't have a lot of kind of overt symptoms, like I'm not living in pain or anything like that. So it was a pretty easy disease to go into denial about. And so it was really kind of a slow process, and it was really through the master's degree in consciousness studies that I did through a school out here in the Bay Area that I started to really look at the process of transformation of consciousness, like how we really, shift in fundamental ways to kind of look at what we've taken on in the world that isn't truly us, the things that we've kind of solidified around our identity and our beliefs that aren't really ours, and what it takes to shake us out of that and to live more true to who we are. And it was through studying that process that I started to put the pieces together and be like, oh, right, that's actually because transformation of consciousness is actually healing. They're the same process in the way that I see it. And so it was then that I started to say, okay, so I'm dealing with this diagnosis and these chronic health issues, and here's the process of healing that I'm actually studying unknowingly at the time. But, now I'm seeing like, yes, this is actually the process that that we're going through. And the adventure piece is really... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and I just wanted to give us a pause because that was the great information that you shared with us, and I appreciate you being so candid and transparent with us about this information. Because listeners, what I'm hoping you're taking from this is that it wasn't just a magic switch; it was a journey and discovery. And so, remember to be kind to yourself. And when you have these things hit you, and you don't have to deny your feelings and suddenly switch a switch and it's an adventure all of a sudden. There's going to be a processing and a journey. But to me, the hope that you present is that timeline can be shorter for people and they can have the hope that it can be an adventure and it can be a journey. Is that a fair statement and a fair...
It is, and it's really looking at adventure, not so much from the viewpoint of this is always going to be up. I mean, you think about any adventure, there's going to be ups and downs to it.
Yes.
And so for me, it's exactly what you said. It's not about putting this pressure and this kind of potential for self-judgment around, like, we have to enjoy every part of this journey, and it has to be always this great and amazing thing. It's more about how just can we be fully in it? Like, regardless of what you're going through, you can be fully in it as you possibly can be. And that's really the point, to the adventure piece of it. It's not so much feeling like, okay, we're always like up and happy. It's just being fully in that and treating it as this kind of stepping into the unknown and this evolution and this unfamiliar aspect of you and who you are and exploring that. And that's the adventure part to me is really exploration and, uncertainty and being in the unfamiliar.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I know that you've actually, I just had a vision as you were sharing that, not a vision, but a picture that I just pictured how there's roller coaster rides, and I'm not trying to make this simple, but there's roller coaster rides that go up and down, and sometimes that down is fun, sometimes it's terrifying, sometimes it goes into tunnels, but there's this trust of the track that you're in a sense safe with yourself on the journey with the ups and the downs and in the tunnels, knowing that there will be an coming out of the tunnel again as well. And that's just some of the picture that started painting into my mind as you were sharing.
Yeah, I like that. I very much talk about it as a path, and I talk about the peaks and the descents into the underworld and the plateaus and all of that is part of the journey that you're on. And absolutely, if you're just on the path and you take one step at a time, you can always have that trust.
Exactly. Thank you. And I know you've put together an amazing free gift. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very short document that basically outlines the 5 steps that you can take to transform, any challenge that you have transform seeing it as a challenge or as a problem to really seeing it as this kind of pathway to access who you're truly meant to be. So it's really about, again, turning your life into that adventure and exploration, regardless of whatever's happening to you. And that can be, a sort of negative challenge. It can also be a more positive challenge, like a new job or starting a business or becoming a parent or something like that. So there's really lots of different kind of opportunities in our life to really be able to see these as kind of these happenings as a pathway to access who we truly are. So that's
wonderful. Well, thank you. And I appreciate that it's short because I'm just thinking when I'm in a challenging moment, I don't want to read a book. I like steps, I like action, and I like there's something I can do. So I appreciate that. And I think our listeners will also lean into having something, a tool that can use them during those challenges, whether they're something that's exciting that you're leaning into that's a challenge, or it can be those others that we're not so excited to, but we get to lean into. So I thank you for making that valuable resource available to us. And listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next break. The time goes so quickly. So I invite you to pause again, step into the amazing gift that you are, and relish that experience and feeling. And when you come back, there's a last exciting tip or suggestion or action that you can take right now today that our experts are going to share with you. And I will also let you know how to access those amazing gifts. So we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you took the opportunity to step into your amazingness and really see a little bit of what that feels like. And I asked my guests if they had something else that they wanted to share, either a tip, an idea, a suggestion, something that you can do and apply in your life right away. And they both said yes and leaned into that opportunity. Another conversation that we had behind the scenes that just really warmed my heart, I also wanted to share. So you all get a behind the scenes moment. When I create a show, and I'm really looking at who the guests are and what the topic's going to be, as it unfolds, it actually takes on a bit of a life of its own. And I'm really led to who it is that I'm to bring together. And I don't always know why I'm supposed to have both of those guests on the show. And as their questions come in and we start to create everything, I can see, in a sense, the story and the show being created. And what was really neat to me in our last commercial break is, as the guests, because behind the scenes we get to talk, so we don't hear the commercials that you get to hear, we get to talk a little bit. They just shared how they could see some connections and ways that their paths, in a sense, there's a synchronicity there, that they have kind of come together in their messaging and in some of their journeys. And so it was really neat for me as a host to see that and experience the show, in a sense, coming forth, touching hearts, and really being created by all of us energetically together. So, guests, I appreciate you sharing that moment with me, and listeners, I wanted to bring a little bit of that energy and some of what goes on behind the scenes to share with all of you.
Yeah.
And as promised, I know that we each have a tip or something else on our heart that we wanted to make sure we took the moment to really empower and share with our listeners. So, Dr. Marguerite Rigoglioso, do you have something you would like to share with us?
I do. Well, many people listening may already have some kind of spiritual practice, but this may not exactly be it. And you may also have a faith practice, or you may have spiritual beliefs, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, this is something you can do. Get a bag of those 100 tea light candles, those little things you can get at Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever. Get a little container that you put it in, one of those nice ones that's fireproof and it's a little decorative. And each day you create a nice little place in your living room or your bedroom or wherever it is, and you light this candle and let it burn until it goes down. And as you light the candle, you say, I am inviting Spirit into my life. I am inviting Spirit into my life. I am inviting Spirit into my life. And whether it's the spirits that you know from your religious upbringing or something else, it doesn't matter. Just put out that call. And if you want to go to step 2, you put an image there that represents the sacred to you. Again, from your own faith tradition or from something else that you feel connected with, even nature. And that's also a good place where you could, and a good time where you could just get quiet for 5 minutes. Calm yourself, close your eyes, breathe deeply, get quiet so you can ask a question and hear the answer. So that's my tip.
Thank you. And I have a quick question. So this is a technical clarification thing for me.
Yes.
As they're lighting the candle and they're calling the sacred in and opening themselves up to Spirit and to listening, is there anything that they do when they either blow the candle out or the candle burns out? Is there another piece to that, or am I...
What I recommend is they can just leave the candle burning, but that's why you should set it in a place that's safe, like in your living room, in a place that's there's nothing flammable, and then you just go about your tasks. I wouldn't leave the house with it lit, but you just go about your tasks, and you'll see it from time to time. It could be in your office or wherever you are, and just it will burn out naturally, and it just becomes a natural part of the cycle of your day.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. I just, I could see myself doing that and then wondering, what's next?
Right. The next step is the next day. You do the same thing. You do it every day. 100 bags will last you, 100, lights will last you 100 days, and then you get 2 more bags and you've got almost a whole year.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And just watch what happens. Watch what happens and listen in your life.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And Julie, did you have an exciting tip or a suggestion that would really help us take action in our lives?
Well, what I wanted to go back to was just this idea of really being fully in your experience, to really embrace the journey wherever you are. And what I wanted to say about it is just pointing out that there's really a purpose to every aspect of our journey, whatever it is. And the way I think of it is, it's like if you're walking on a path and say you're in a part of, the woods that you don't like and you want to get out of, and you start running. And if you do that, you miss the fact that, underneath your feet, there's, jewels and diamonds and gold nuggets there. And so it's like when we try to get out of where we are really quickly, we can miss kind of the wealth that's right there. And that's about the purpose. It's about the purpose of whatever that part of the journey is. And it's important in those times to just really be in question when we're, particularly when we're in a difficult part, but really any time on your journey, it's like, can you just be in question? And by question, I don't mean the answers. I don't mean like the questions we got asked in school and we had to come up with the answer. I mean the type of kind of key questions that you can ask and you can just sit with and live with and let them be a mystery that really leads you further into who you are, because that's really the goal of all of this, is you kind of getting out of the self-judgment and removing all of the solidity that you've added onto you through your life and freeing you up to really be who you are. So
perfect.
That's what I would want to leave people with.
Thank you. And we don't want to miss those jewels. So,
exactly.
Listeners, I really invite you to lean into these tips to build those places that you can light the candle, that you can have these pauses, that you can listen, that you're not rushing so quickly that you miss those jewels, that there is wisdom and richness in each step on the journey. And I really want to invite you to develop the practice of living your life on purpose and utilizing these tips and tools and wisdom to help you do that. And I promise promise to let you know where to get these gifts. So let me make sure I honor that promise. If you're listening to us live on the Voice America channel, you'll look over to the right-hand side. There's a link there that says Radio Show Gifts. You simply click on that, and it'll open up the world of gifts. You put your name, email address in so we can keep in touch, and all these gifts will open up to you. Also, if you're listening to the replay, you can go to my website, which is www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Hit the radio tab, and up on the left-hand corner, you'll see the same opportunity for empowerment gifts. And I invite you to take action, to really lean into the amazing journey of life, the amazing gift that you are. Really use these tools and resources and tips that we've given you to lean into the amazing gift you are, to be empowered on your journey. And when we do that, we actually help empower and impact others in our lives as well. And my heart's desire for you is to always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.